Okay, everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat. Baruch Hashem here at Shira David. And Baruch Hashem, we have a schus to get to learn Erev Shabbos Kodesh Parsha Shmini. Amazing, right? Baruch Hashem. Okay, and this week's we have a special minhag of the Schlissel challah. We call it in Yiddish, right? It's known as make a key in the shape of a mafteach, a key, or we place a key in the challah. There are many, many different reasons for it, and they're all beautiful. I mean, all of them. If you want, I'll review with you a couple of different ideas of why we do that. Do you want to know? You do want to know? Okay. So one of the main things is it's brought down by the Oyev Yisrael, the Apterov, in the Sefer Oyev Yisrael. It's an amazing, beautiful, beautiful Sefer. He was known as the Oyev Yisrael because he really loved Jews, right? So he says like this. He says, if we look back at the history when Klal Yisrael came into Eretz Yisrael, right after Moshe Rabbeinu passed away, we came into Eretz Yisrael, and we know that the man was b'schus Moshe Rabbeinu, correct? Remember, right? The water was b'schus Miriam. Tzaddik, right? We had the rolling stone in the desert, right? The rolling stone, that was the original rolling stone, right? And then we had the clouds of glory. The Anani HaKavod was b'schus Aaron HaKohen. And we know that when Miriam passed away, the water had stopped, but then b'schus Moshe Rabbeinu, the water came back, right? And then Aaron passed away. And then the clouds of glory left for a very brief time, but it came back again because of the greatness of Moshe Rabbeinu. But now when we came into Eretz Yisrael, Moshe Rabbeinu had just passed away, right? And we came into Eretz Yisrael, we came in the Pesach time, and the man fell through Pesach, but after Pesach, the man stopped. After Pesach, the man stopped. When we came into Eretz Yisrael. So we actually had man in Eretz Yisrael through Pesach. Isn't that interesting? Interesting, right? It fell here in Eretz Yisrael.
It wasn't kidney.
Didn't have to. It couldn't have been kidney. It was lechem min hashamayim.
It also came on man.
It came with the greatest hashkacha. It was Hashem's hashkacha. You don't have to worry about Bedatz Yerushalayim, it was Eidei Chareid, it was this one, that, Chasam Sefer, it was no, the Rebbeinu Shalom. Okay. Sweet. Okay, so says the Apterov, so we want to turn on, and we know the man was our parnasa, right? The man was our parnasa, right? So you need, and the Gemara in Taina says that there are three keys that HaKadosh Baruch Hu keeps control of. One of them is the key to rain, right? The rain is parnasa. So we remind HaKadosh Baruch Hu with the key. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, here's the key. Please, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we kept the Yom Tov, the Pesach, we got the beautiful Ha'aretz and the beautiful light of Pesach, but then we need some parnasa, so we ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu to turn the key of parnasa. We have the key. Everybody should remember your key. You have the key to key. Okay, that's one idea. Another. There are other ideas that, like we said yesterday, from the Rishna, that we were granted the access to HaKadosh Baruch Hu's palace, right? Over Pesach, we came with the Rebbeinu Shalom. He came to us. And when we got to spend time with the Rebbeinu Shalom, was so beautiful. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so to say, gives us access. He gives us access, and we're showing Hashem we have that key. We can always come back to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We have the key. Okay, that's on a spiritual way to understand it. Okay, and there are many. There's then on the other way. There's another one from the Holy Maharal, Prague. The Maharal lived in the mid 1500s, and so on, and he lived in those medieval times, right? And the Maharal was dealing with a lot of blood libels at the time. there was a priest, Theodus, that was in charge of that area, that in the city of Prague, and the Maral was Pesach, and it was before Pesach. The Maral was sitting and he was learning, and the Maral had the story goes the Maral had a key to the shul. He kept it on a hook. He had the key on a hook. It's a big key, and he had the key on the hook. And then it's learning, and the key fell down. All right, so he heard the clank, and he picked it up, put the key back. He sits back to learn. The key falls down again. He says, something's wrong. Puts the key back in, it falls the third time. He says, okay, I better go check. This is the key to the shul. So he figures, I better go, let me go to the shul. There's some sign in Hashemayim, something's going on. So he goes into the shul, he opens the door, and he sees that the paroichas are not exactly right on the Aron Kodesh. The paroicha, the curtain wasn't exactly right on the Aron Kodesh. So let me see what happens. So he opens up the thing, and he sees there's a little bottle standing. There's a bottle standing in the Aron Kodesh, a bottle. He looks at the bottle, and what's in the bottle? Blood. It's a bottle filled with blood. The Goyim came in. They placed a bottle of blood. Right? So he saw, okay. He took the bottle. He dumped out the blood, washed out the bottle really good, like we're learning about washing the meat. He washed out the bottle really well, right, okay. And he filled it up with wine. Filled up the bottle with wine, closed the bottle, put it back in the Aron Kodesh. The next morning they came to daven. They were davening in the shul. Meanwhile, while they're davening, the police came in, a big thing. They stormed into the shul, and the priest was there. Yeah, you had blood. We know you have blood. Everyone, all the guys in the shul were all nervous. Oh, no, what is this? The Maral was sitting there, he was smiling. He was like, and the priest says, they probably kept it in the ark. It's probably in the ark. So the police go to the ark, and they open it up, and they look inside, and they see there's a bottle. Oh, you see that? It's full of blood. So the police looked at the bottle. They smelled, no, this is wine. This is not blood. What are you talking about? You're trying to make a libel on the Jews, the blood libels, like they do today. Same thing, right? The same thing today, right? Blood libel. So they put him in jail. They put the priest in jail, and we were saved. So Maral said, because we were saved because of the key. So we'll remind HaKadosh Baruch Hu the key to realize all the parnasa, everything comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You understand? The salvation comes from the Rabbeinu Shalom. And it also it's written that at the time that time, Goyim used to also make shapes with their breads and different things. So here the Maral wanted to make it that it'll be something of kedusha. So if you're going to make a shape of your bread, you'll use something. Remember that we always have the shmira from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and to know that our parnasa comes from the Rabbeinu Shalom. And to open up our mouth to speak to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we have the keys in our mouth. To speak to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we can accomplish anything with our words. And so that's some ideas for the idea of why we have there are many, many more. There are many gematrias, and it's a whole world of stuff. But I just gave you something, that we have something with it, okay? Any questions? Any questions? Yeah? Okay.
He said it had to be blood, because I put my blood in there myself yesterday.
Yeah, I put it there. I put it there yesterday. Okay, we're learning Sefer Sfartem Lachem. Today we are, our Sefira project we're working on with, so it's Hayom Shmeine Yomim Shehem Shvua Echad V'Yom Echad La'omer. So today is the 8th day, which is 1 week and 1 day into the Omer. Okay, so anyone that's listening to this during the day today and didn't count for some reason, you forgot, so you can still count the cost, but you can't, and you cannot make the bracha. But again, if you do count during the day, you can resume making the bracha the following evening. Okay, here we go. So today is the Midah. We're starting the week now of Gvura. We finished yesterday. We finished Malchus Shebe Chesed, right, which is the end of the week of Malchus, and now we're starting the week of Gvura.
Why do you say it that way? Don't you say Chesed the Malchut? Why do you seem to say the?
Last week we finished Malchus Shebe Chesed.
Oh, last week was Malchut.
Last week was Chesed. So it's the Malchus of Chesed.
No, I know, but I always thought we said it Chesed.
No. The first one. No. You can just like today is the mid of Chesed Shebegvura. You say the first one is the midah specifically for the day. The second one is the week. What?
Day 43, it's going to be Chesed Sheba Malchus.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I thought that. Okay.
It's okay. So this is the week of Gvura. Okay, the week of Gvura is a tough week because it's Gvura. But we're going to learn how beautiful really Gvura is. And we learned from Yitzchak Avinu the same way Yitzchak Avinu, his name is Yitzchak, Tzaddik, right? We learned many times when we learned in Likutey Halachos Hilchos Tefillin, we learned many places with the idea with Yitzchak Avinu that he sees the din, but Yitzchak sees the din, but he looks right past the din, and he sees that really the din is only a chesed me'ez Hashem. You understand? He sees it's really a chesed. Hashem doesn't do it. People think Hashem, Hashem is mean to me. No. Chas v'shalom, Hashem is not mean to anybody. Hashem is very kind to everybody. He just wants everyone to be able to get the message, to make their rectifications, and so that way when they come to the next world, they have a good place and everything is good. So Hashem is doing everything for our own benefit, for us. The same way you have sometimes a parent has to punish a child. Does the parent enjoy punishing the child? No, of course not. I mean, not normal parents. Okay, I mean, normal people, of course, they have no choice. They have to scold the child or whatever they have to do, but they don't want to do that. And why are they doing it? Because they want to help the child. And that's HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Whenever something goes wrong in our lives, He's only doing it to help us so we can come closer to Him. So let's see, here we go. Aleph. Bein Adam Lamakim. Yizboinin Adam Edate B'maisei HaChesed V'Ahava. Think about the chasadim that Hashem does for us and the love that Hashem shows us all the time, how Hashem is taking care of us all the time. Shepoyel Hashem is Baruch B'Ilomai B'Chlal V'Imai B'Efrat. How HaKadosh Baruch Hu, like now, for example, in the world, we have such a beautiful food supply, right? Right, the world has never seen it before. We never see it. So this is a chesed of Hashem, right? It's a chesed of Hashem. You go and you can find all different things. It's amazing. The world never had anything like that. Never. So so think about that. And if you do that, you can come to having Yiras Hashem. You think, wow, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you realize Hashem does all these things in the world. You realize how wonderful Hashem is. Do it from the side of Chesed. Find Hashem, the Yira of Hashem, from the side of Chesed. Kedugmas, Shlos HaRishoyim v'Tashlim, Schoram B'Olam Hazeh, Kedei L'Tordam Mischar Olam Haba. You'll see sometimes you have a lot of wicked people, right? And they're doing pretty good in this world. They're doing pretty good. And you say, wait a second, it doesn't make sense. Here, I'm trying my best, and I'm not doing that. Look, this guy, he doesn't keep any of the mitzvahs, and he's doing great. Why? HaKadosh Baruch Hu is doing that because He's just giving him his reward for his mitzvahs in this world. Like Chazal tell us, even a Rosh's malei mitzvahs karimain. Like even a Rosh is full of mitzvahs like a pomegranate. You know how many seeds there are in a pomegranate? A lot, right? So the Rosh has a lot of mitzvahs also. So of course, HaKadosh Baruch Hu pays everyone for their mitzvahs, right? So HaKadosh Baruch Hu pays the guy back in this world, so he shouldn't have anything in the next world. This is a guy that's not looking to do tshuva. We're not talking about a guy that did wicked things, but he's coming back to Hashem. That's not this guy. We're talking about a guy that he says he goes against Hashem, he goes against the Torah, he goes against the Jewish people like that, but he's doing well. So now you'll understand why he's doing well. K'mayche darshan Chazal Pasuk Mishalem L'soinav Al Ponav La'avdai. Hakadosh Baruch Hu pays them back in order to destroy them. They should be destroyed. They should be lost. Right? Without they don't do okay. V'zeh yavai liyira es Hashem yizbarach b'chlal v'frat yira ba'atzmai shema gam hu mekabel chelka yatoi b'olam hazeh kedei l'tardei chas v'shalom. Then we have to think to ourselves, Hashem, you're giving me such good in this world. Am I chas v'shalom, this guy? That you're giving me so good in this world because I'm in trouble for the when they come upstairs, and if a person does that, he comes to think of the Yira. He comes to think of the Yira, and he comes to think, and he asks, he thanks HaKadosh Baruch Hu, like we learned. Thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu for everything He's giving us. Because he realizes, hey, I'm living my life pretty good, and I know everybody knows himself. So why am I getting such good if I'm involved in whatever I'm involved in? We'll bring a person to do tshuva, of course, which is the whole point. That's the whole point. So this is chesed shebigvura. Use the chasadim to figure out how to do tshuva, and you can avoid the gvura. You understand? You understand? No, you don't like that? No?
No, I like that. But the guy who doesn't get things, or he gets tough in the life, he also thinks that he's not doing good. That's why, Hashem...
No, that's Gvura Shebigvura. One second. Now we're doing Chesed Shebigvura.
Right.
So here we're looking at this angle. We're going to... Okay, we'll go to... One second. we had a request here, instead of going back on this field, so we're going to go ahead. We can actually say tonight, now it's still the day, it's no problem. We don't... After you can't say the day after when it gets to Chatzos Hayom. If you say at Chatzos Hayom the day, you can't count again the night with the night. But now it's early in the morning, it's no problem. So we can say the day. Okay, Nimsa. Sheba liyiras Hashem yizbarach machmas yidiyasai v'midas chazdai v'tuva yizbarach. So you come to HaKadosh Baruch Hu through the midah of chesed. You can come to realize the yiras Hashem, the gvura of Hashem, how HaKadosh Baruch Hu is doing these things. And of course, all these things that to bring us closer to Hashem. All these things that to get us to come closer to Hashem. When a person really sits and he thinks for a moment, wow, look at the goodness I have in my life. Look at the goodness I have in my life. It's amazing. In New York, we have an opportunity. We work with different hospitals. So sometimes when I'm there, I have to go to different hospitals and visit, talk to the people there and the different services for the hospital. We give them. So I always try to have a tefillah before I walk in. I say, Hashem, if there was a gezerah that I have to be in the hospital. Hey, listen, I'm spending time in the hospital now. And I thank you, Hashem, that you're letting me come to the hospital to give them service, and I don't need their service. Right? And these are the type of things we can all do. Right? We can all do. You go to visit someone in the hospital, thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu, look at all these sick people, and I can walk around. Thank Hashem. That's the whole point, is to recognize HaKadosh Baruch Hu in our lives. All the learning that we're doing, that's what we're trying to do. Just to recognize Hashem is in our lives. Okay, any questions on this? So use the chesed to see the gvura of Hashem. You don't get it.
Just to expand on the point of the fact that the gzerot of a person who is not following, right? So there's
realize so when you realize that, wow, this guy's doing so good because HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
I feel so good about what's in my life, but then that shows that I'm potentially getting the reward in this world instead of the next, and then
right. No, so when so then it gets you to do more.
So then
that'll get you to do more. You say, wait a second, Hashem, I don't want to be this guy, so let me do more. I'll give more charity. I'll do more acts of kindness. I'll learn more Torah. I'll do more Esbaydah. Whatever I'll do more for you, Hashem, so I can, so to say, balance the score. Right?
Got it.
It's just to it's really to motivate us to get to keep moving. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Okay. All right. So let's go to. We have a request to look at the midah of gvura. Okay. So tonight's going to be the ninth night, right? Tonight's going to be the ninth night. Okay. And Baruch Hashem, it's very early in the morning. We just finished the Nate's meeting, so we have no problem with saying that. But someone else is living this later in the day. They can't say the day. If they do, they won't be able to count that night. It's a question. It's a question if it's after Chatzos Yom, can you count or not? Of course you can't. But there's some opinions that say you can. Okay, and therefore it's a suffix, and then we know the idea of suffix brachas lahakel. So you never would always say, like if someone asks, hey, what's today's date? Right before you're going to count. So you say, yesterday we counted, like tonight, you would say, oh, yesterday we counted 8. If the person doesn't remember. So you don't tell, oh, tonight's the night, oh, you count, say night, done. Can't make the bracha. So you say tomorrow night, last night was the 8th night, or tomorrow we'll count the 10th. You can do whatever, but you don't want to mention the day itself, right? You understand?
Until you say the actual bracha.
Till you say the bracha, then you can say no problem. Once you said the bracha,
Somebody say it, you should still say it again at night.
you could say it again at night, of course. Yeah, you count it again at night. Yeah, okay, that's true. If a person said it during the day, don't think you don't have to count it at night. Very good point. Thank you, Shalom. Right. In other words, if you said it during the day and you got whatever someone asked you, whatever you said it as a question, just because you can't make the bracha doesn't mean you shouldn't count. And that's why it's a good idea. Sometimes people have a minute before they say Baruch Shama in the morning, they always count. Before you say Baruch Shama, you count the day, so that way you know, hey, I counted the day. Even if I forgot last night, it doesn't matter. I said it now in the morning. I'm good, and that's an idea. Okay, let's see now. Hayan Tisha Yomim Shem Shua Echad Shnei Yomim Lamed. That'll be tonight. Mida Gvura Shebigvura. Wow, it's a tough one, right? Okay, so here we go. Let's see what he says. Yizbayin Adam Bedate B'Maisa Hagvura V'Apachad. Okay, look in the world. At the gvura, the judgment, and the pachad, the fear, right? I mean, the other day, we had this big thunder. I don't know if you remember the other morning. It was like, wow. So I said to my wife, take a look. See, that thunder was more powerful than any of the booms we heard, right?
It was.
More powerful than any of the booms that we heard. Mm-hmm. And it was a thunder. That's what we're talking about. Realize how powerful HaKadosh Baruch Hu is, right? And look at the gvura that Hashem does in the world. Sometimes in the world there are tsunamis and there are big storms and floods and whatever, all different things, big fires and different things in the world, earthquakes, right? Big things that happen. And then a person can look at his own life. Whatever problems the person experiences in his own life. The whole point is to awaken us and bring us back to have Yiras Hashem. Right? Reishis Chachma Yiras Hashem. Right? We say that in the morning. Reishis Chachma Yiras Hashem. To bring us to have Yira of Hashem. To realize Hashem is Meloi Chol Haaretz Kevodai. Hashem is everywhere in the world. When we recognize that, then you act different. You act a little bit differently, right? You act a little bit different when you recognize Hashem is with you wherever you go, right?
Rabbi Nachman says that about thunders, that thunder is not necessarily always thunders.
Yeah, it's in the things in the mind.
That's going on with the person. Personal thunders.
That's part of the gvura. It's the same thing. It's part of the same thing. Right. The Gemara says, why is there thunder in the world? In order to straighten out the miyasha, the akmumi yeshabalev. Right? To straighten out the crookedness in a person's heart. Right? Okay. Kedugmas Mamar Chazal, Nei Nivru Ra'omim, Ella Lefashe Takmumi Yeshabalev. Right? The whole point of the thunder is to straighten out the crookedness in the heart. Ovezeh Yovai Liyiras Hashem Yisbarach Bechlal. You'll come to fear Hashem when you realize, wow, Hashem made that big thunder, right? And wow, that big crashing sound, right? It's amazing. It's just that's showing the gvura of Hashem. Befrad Yisbainim B'Masha Li'itim Neifel Pachad Pita and Belibay sometimes a person feels some kind of feeling of pachad in your heart. You just feel something's wrong. Right, mibare olam, something that was harmful. V'yachshev shiira nezu shoira hu mimal v'lekim also shiiru milafanav. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is doing that. So he's giving you, like we were learning about the Ruach HaKodesh yesterday, right? We don't have Ruach HaKodesh today, but HaKadosh Baruch Hu sends everybody some messages. It's a Ruach HaKodesh. So sometimes you get that feel. You feel something's wrong. You feel like there's some kind of pachad. Ever happen? You just feel it. You don't know what you don't know. You just feel there's something going on. So that's from Hashem. He's telling, hey guys, it's time to wake up. Time to wake up.
So why isn't that Ruach HaKodesh?
It is.
It is.
It is a sense of Ruach HaKodesh. Yeah. Yeah. Ulechein zimna zois hashkacha liyadai kidei she is boinin by v'gdulas haberis baruch hasholit by that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is great and He's running everything. That's the whole point, to recognize it's all Hashem running everything in the world. It's not the leaders and it's not the army and it's not our enemies. It's HaKadosh Baruch Hu running everything. It's all the Rebbeinu Shalom. They can all say what they want to say, but they're only saying what Hashem wants them to say. Right? They're only saying what Hashem wants them to say. So you can be mashtam the mid of gvura of Hashem through the gvura of Hashem. You see the gvura of Hashem, you sense it, the power of Hashem. Right, the power of Hashem, which brings you to come to Gevurah, to come to the pachad of Hashem, to recognize and to fear HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Again, Reishis Chachma Yiras Hashem, Seichel Tov L'Chol Hashem. Right, we say it every morning. Right, Reishis Chachma Yiras Hashem. The main thing I need to know, because if you have that, if you have Yiras Hashem, then your whole day is a whole different day. Right. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things to talk about it, but again, we want to learn some Likutey Halachos, right?
It's a good question because this comes out on Shabbat. I don't know if every year it comes out on Shabbat.
No, it doesn't always come out on Shabbat.
How can we? The whole point of these are kind of to focus and to focus on right, but that comes out on Shabbat, which is not about Gvura, right? Shabbat is all about Chesed and
it's all about Chesed. But okay, so again, you could realize how Hashem made the world from nothing. You're gonna say tonight. You can make Kiddush. Yoy Mashishi v'Yichulu Shemayim v'Aretz v'Chol Tzava. Okay, anyway, Hashem, you finished the whole thing. That means Hashem, you created everything. That's a gvura too, recognizing that, right? Coming to that recognition, and I'm standing there before you, Hashem, and I'm testifying that you created the world, right?
Is that gvura?
That's gvura, yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't understand.
You're testifying. When a person goes to court, right? And you're standing in front of the court with the jury and the district, and the guy, he feels a little bit of fear, right? Right? You're standing in front of the court, you're standing in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Mm-hmm. So you have to realize, wait a second, this is a serious moment. It's a beautiful moment that I have the opportunity to testify that you created the world. That's an amazing thing. But there's some gvura in there, which brings you to Ahava. Wow, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, wow, you created and you let me do this? So you come to the Chava again. You understand? It's a program. Okay, all right. So we'll continue Metz Hashem on Sunday. We'll do 10. Okay. Well, let's get the Likutey Halachos. Okay. Any questions? We're okay with this? We're all right? Okay. Baruch Hashem. Okay. So today we're up to we're learning Likutey Halachos. Baruch Hashem. And we're in Hilchas Birchas Hareach, which is the laws of even when you smell something, make sure to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right? And remember Hashem, like we keep learning, bring Hashem into our lives, okay? And we're in Halacha Dalid, which is based on lesson Tiku in the Tinyana, the second book of Likutey Moharan, which is lesson 8 in the second book. So this whole Halacha Dalid is based on that lesson. So if you have time to ever learn through the lesson and read through it, it's an amazing, amazing lesson. It was one of the lessons that Rabbi Nachman gave on Rosh Hashanah. It's a Rosh Hashanah lesson. Okay, it's a very beautiful, beautiful lesson. Okay, and so today we're up to Lamed Beis. So Dalid 4, Lamed Beis, those that are following along inside. Okay, we encourage everyone to follow along inside. Okay, here we go. V'yosim emasha kosav sham diber imay peh peh. V'hizir me'oid lichtov zeh ha'inyan heitev shetzrichen levakesh me'Hashem yisbarach me'oid lechapeis harbe liskois levkarev la'atzadik ha'emes. Let's say diber imay peh peh. So it says that when HaKadosh Baruch Hu was giving us the Torah on Har Sinai, Moshe Rabbeinu was talking to HaKadosh Baruch Hu peh peh. They were talking face to face, mouth to mouth, whatever you want to say. Hey, what? And write this down really good. HaKadosh Baruch Moshe Rabbeinu wrote again. Moshe Rabbeinu wrote the first Torah, right? Moshe Rabbeinu wrote the first Torah. That Torah was in the Luchos, and Moshe Rabbeinu then wrote 12 other different Sifrei Torah, and he gave one to each Shevet. You know that, right? Each Shevet got their own Sefer Torah that Moshe Rabbeinu wrote. Moshe Rabbeinu wrote, each Sefer got their own Sefer Torah from Moshe Rabbeinu. Shetrichen levakesh me'Hashem yisbarach moed lechapeis harbe liskois liskarev letzaddik emes. And we have to always beg Hashem to come close to the true tzaddikim. We don't want to come close to the tzaddikim like we said yesterday, these people that claim they're tzaddikim. We want to come to the true tzaddikim. Because the tzaddikim have ruach hakodesh, right? And we went through the ruach hakodesh of the tzaddik. When the tzaddik tells you something, and you realize, wait a second, he let's say you go to the tzaddik and he tells you something that only you know, right? And you never told this tzaddik. How does he know? And you realize, whoa, wait a second, if he knows, then the imagination starts to work, right? Wow. If he knows, so can you imagine what they know in Shemayim, right? And again, it helps the person with his medama, his imagination. He starts to imagine, and it can bring him closer to Hashem. Okay? And again, the main thing is to always believe in Chiddush Ha'olam, that the world is anew, and I can always change. It doesn't matter what I did till now. No matter how old the person may be, it doesn't matter. I may have been making the mistake for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years. It doesn't matter. Now, I'm new. Right now. Right now. And now I can change. And this is what we all have to remember this. And Rav Nosson will tell this in every lesson. The main thing is in the emuna is to have that there's always Chiddush Ha'olam. The world is always new, which means I have an opportunity to make change. Right? The rest of the world tells you, no, there's no such a thing. It's the same old thing. You are what you are. You did the time, you did the crime, do the time, and all of that stuff. No, but no. Chiddush Ha'olam. And again, the Reb Nosson's not telling you, and no one's telling you that you can do what you want and just say, well, now I'm new, and I can start all over again. No. Of course, you're going to have to make rectifications for everything in the past. But at least gives you an idea of how to brush yourself off and start over. You understand? It gives a person the motivation in order to be able to forge forward and not to stay in the pit that the person's in. Right? Got that? Everyone's okay? Al inyan zeh. Haloi Rabbeinu zechrein levrocha kosav sham ba'atzmai b'Torah. Shebeshas Kabbalas HaTorah Zochu Kol Yisrael Lebechinas Ruach HaKodesh. Rabbi Nachman writes that at the time of Kabbalas HaTorah, we all had a Ruach HaKodesh. We all had Ruach HaKodesh. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu did that. And again, we learned about it. Why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu hold the mountain over us? Why was there the thunder? Well, we learned about thunder, right? There was thunder. There was lightning. There was the shofar blowing. All these special the special effects you said, Sasha, right? All the special effects. Right? For what were the special effects? To fix our medama, our imagination. That we can imagine with greatness. We can imagine greatness. Right? That's why, like we just learned, the midah of Gvura Shebegvura. Recognize the power of Hashem. Then I start to imagine, wow, Hashem, you're really so powerful. You really can do everything. So I can really get all my salvation comes from you, Hashem. Right? Beim kein kosher lama tzrichen l'nesayel tzaddik b'shvil lekabel v'menu beira amedama they ruach hakodesh shalai haloi kvar zochu Yisrael lezeh b'shas matan Torah. Hey, Rav Nosson says, hey, wait a second. Nosson's asking a question here. It's a good question. We said yesterday you have to travel to the tzaddik. Make sure you find the tzaddik. Daven a lot, like we just said now. Make sure you daven a lot to find the tzaddik to help your medama. But wait a second. We all achieved this idea of Ruach HaKodesh at Kabbalas HaTorah. So we all have this idea of Ruach HaKodesh, so why do I need to go to the tzaddik? Huh? It's a good question, right? And we can all get the Ruach HaKodesh. Like we said, right? You feel the different things. You feel the pachad in your heart. It's a sense of Ruach HaKodesh, right? V'kushya zois kroiva l'kushya ha'olam. And this question is close. This is a good question, like the rest of the world asks. Shemakshin lama tzrichen l'sayel tzaddik haloi dai ba'asvarim sheyesh mikvar. Doesn't the world say, well, hey, why do I have to travel all the way over there? I have his books. So I open up the rabbi's book, and I study his book, and I'm with him. What am I going to go there for? Right? Good question, right? Good question, right? Okay.
This relates to Umar, right?
Relates to going to any tzaddik. Right? If you want to learn, you could take out the Gemara, you could take out the Zohar, you could learn about Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, plenty of places. Right? All through Gemara, you have Rabbi Shimon, right? So I can be with Rabbi Shimon. I have to go to Meron for.
Right.
Why I got to go all the way over there, right? Why should I could just be with the rabbi right here in my living room, right? Rabbeinu Zechoin Levracha B'Torah now. Bo levatel kushyosam levoret shetzrichen dafkon l'sayel tzadikim shezeh ikar kedushas ishi Yisraeli. Rabbi Nachman writes there, the main point of every Jew, the main thing is to connect himself to the tzaddik. So yes, you can connect to a tzaddik by learning the teachings of the tzaddikim, speaking about the tzaddik. Of course you can. But to get to the tzaddik and to be one with the tzaddik in his place, that's something very, very, very special. Ki kol emuna toli b'zeh. Emuna tzaddikim. In the moon and the tzaddikim. It's dependent on this. Ki efshel liskois lemuna ki im al yedei tzaddik sheyesh boi ruach hakodesh. Aval l'choyra adayin akushi b'mekoymo imedes. But we still have the question. So again, you have to go to the tzaddik, because he's going to get Ruach HaKodesh. But the question still is there, that I still can have my own Ruach HaKodesh. Ki aloi kvar kibalnu es ha-Torah, she'oz zochu kol Yisrael levora amedama, sha'idei zeh zochu le'emuna. Oh, but we already got it. The whole idea of Kabbalah's ha-Torah, we're getting ready for, right? We're counting the days of Sefira. Right, we're counting the 49 days of Sefira, right? We're going through the Sefira, we're raising our levels up to get the Kabbalah's ha-Torah. So Kabbalah's ha-Torah, we'll get a whole new idea, this whole medameh. Right, when you were standing by when we hear the Aseres Adibris on Shavuos, right? You hear the Aseres, so you're standing in Maimon HaSinai. It's a reenactment of the whole Maimon HaSinai all over again. So again, if we can accomplish this by Shavuos, and via coming to learning Torah and learning the Torahs of the tzaddikim, again, why do we have to go there? Avo be'ames divrei Rabbeinu Zechon Levracha heim divrei Elikim Chayim. But the words of Rabbi Nachman and the words of all the tzaddikim are the words of the living God. They're alive. The words are alive. Udvarim chayim v'kayomim ne'emonim v'nechmodim le'ad. And these words are kayim, their existence, and they're trustworthy, and they're precious. V'kulam nechoichim lemevin, and everyone's working so hard to understand it. Right? We're working to understand it. Ki behemes shleimus emuna tzrichen lahamshech hayidei atzmai b'chol yom v'yom chodesh. The idea of emuna. Right? Really, we have to bring this idea of Chiddush Olam upon ourselves every day. This is upon us, right? That we started in the morning, we said, Reish is Chachma Yiras Hashem. We bring this in every morning, right? We say these words every morning, right? We say Birchas HaTorah, reminds us of Kabbalah HaTorah. Ki HaKadosh Baruch Hu mechadesh betuva b'chol yom tamid maaseh b'reitzos, like we read every morning, 365 days a year. We say this in the Shachris, in the Birchas Kriya Shema, 365 days a year, every day, on Yom Kippur, on Tisha B'Av, every day. On Pesach, on Sukkot, and every day we say mechadesh betuvay b'chol yom tamid maaseh b'reitzos. Hashem makes the world a brand new beginning every day. And we know that one day is not at all comparable to the day before or the day that will come tomorrow. Today is special in its own right. Today will never happen again. Right? This day today will never happen again. This day is here. It's here only now. It's only here now. And this day will never come again. It's now. This is special right now. Ki HaKadosh Baruch Hu chidush es olam yesh me'ayin hamuchlot b'shvil legalos elikusay v'adnusay. HaKadosh Baruch Hu constantly recreates the world yesh me'ayin hamuchlot. And even though your mind is telling you, wait a second, it's the same world, what is he talking about? No, to believe that HaKadosh Baruch Hu can recreate the world again from nothing and make it exactly the way it was a moment ago, a split second ago. So you think you have the Bechira again to believe. No, it's the same world. No, it's a new world. I have my Bechira. That's my free choice. Do I believe that? That's my free choice. Do I believe that this room we are sitting in here now, a second ago was not here, and it's here now, and it's constantly being recreated anew? Even though we seem the same thing. Everything looks the same. No, but it's new. Again, it's hard to understand that, right? That's why you have to work on that. In other words, if everything is constantly brand new,
including yourself.
and ourselves too. Yeah, of course. Shalom, naturally. Now I'm brand new again. So that means if I'm brand new again, why can't I change? Why can't I start over again? I can make changes. You understand? Kidei sheyedu sheyesh mechadesh sheboirei hakol sheze ikra tachlis shel abriya kayadua ki ikra abriya ha'isa begin dish medinin lei. It's the HaKadosh Baruch Hu made the world in a way that we should be able to recognize it. To recognize HaKadosh Baruch Hu. K'may she'isa b'zayir HaKadosh. Aval Hashem yizbarach ratza she'yeh bechira l'adam. B'shvil zeh nivru kol ha'olamos b'shvil adam habala bechira keyadua. Hashem made everything in creation. All the worlds and all the seven firmaments and everything in creation He did for us. He did for Klal Yisrael. He did for us. Therefore, HaKadosh Baruch Hu made it that He can hide from a person this mitzias, this idea that the world is always anew. He made this possible for us to think it's the same thing. It's the same. Everything's the same. It's the same. Kidei she'yischazek be'emuna ve'ikar ikar hanisoyin ha'bechira shel ha'adam ki ikar kiyam kol ha'torah mitzvahs tuliyim be'emuna. Because all my mitzvahs and everything I do, and all the Torah I learn, and everything we study, is only because we have emuna, right? Why would I do mitzvah? Why would I bother spending my time doing mitzvahs if I didn't have emuna that Hashem wants me to do the mitzvah? Right? And that's why a lot of Jews don't do mitzvahs. because they don't have emuna that Hashem wants them to do the mitzvah. They don't have emuna in the Torah. They're lacking it. Ukimay Shamra b'Seinzchan Levracha in Masechta Makkos Bocha v'Kuk v'Amidin Halachos. Right, they came along the Navi Chavakuk, and the Navi Chavakuk said that all the mitzvahs of the Torah can stand on one foot. A regalachas can be on one foot. What is that foot that the Torah can stand on? Tzaddik be'emunasai yichya. The tzaddik be'emunasai yichya. The tzaddik lives with his emuna. How do you like that? The tzaddik lives with his emuna. Because if you live with emuna, you're mamish alive. Got it? If you have emuna, you're alive. Without emuna, a person's a dead person. Right? Rishayim nikrim mesim afilu b'chayayim. Right? Chazal say, a Rasha is called the dead person. He's a walking dead person while he's alive. It's a walking dead person. If you have emuna, you're alive. Right? It says all the David HaMelech writes in Tehillim Kuf Yotes, Kol mitzvah emuna. All your mitzvahs. All the mitzvahs are emuna, right? Again, why am I doing any mitzvah? Oh, because I have emuna, right? Kisham ikar bechira, that's the main bechira. That's our, do I believe it or I do not? Do I believe that the world is new? Do I believe that there's emuna in the mitzvahs? Do I believe in Hashem created the world? This is my bechira. This is what our free choice is. It's all in the medama, right? What we imagine. It's all what we imagine. But the main thing is the emuna of Chiddush Olam. See, because if you could understand it, it's not emuna. Something that you know is not emuna. That's not emuna. Emuna is something I can't understand. Something that's greater than my comprehension. Something that you understand, it's not emuna.
Well, something that's a habit might not be emuna either.
Listen, if someone asks you, 1 + 1 is 2, is that emuna? No, that's the way it is. I believe so. Okay. You could say that, but that's not emuna.
Is a habit also not emuna?
What's that?
A habit. Something you just do because you always do it.
I don't understand what that has to do with anything what we're saying here. I don't understand the question.
Well, you have to have emuna to have a habit. Like, to say...
No, emuna is
no.
something you don't
Don't
understand.
understand.
You smoke. Beyond logic.
Like we said, when it comes to understanding Hashem, we have to use our imagination because we can't understand Hashem in our minds. We can't. We're learning how to understand Hashem through His midos, right? The midah of gvura, chesed shebegvura, like we learned today in gvura shebegvura. We're learning how to recognize Hashem via His midos, but that's not Hashem. That's His midah. That's His attribute. That's not Hashem itself. We can come to understand and start to imagine how great Hashem is based on His action. You understand? Emuna is not something I understand. We can use something of like we said, you need something of physicality in order to springboard the emuna, your imagination. You need to connect it to something of physicality so that the mind can relate, so that way you can start to run with the imagination. But the emuna itself is not. It's nothing. I can't relate to it. There's nothing I can't. No connection. Shezeh bechinas emunas chiddush olam ki chiddush olam efshel lahavim b'das shum oifen. Adarabah misha roitza lichnois binyan zeh lechaker lahavim b'datei yipo lekushos umevuchos gedoyles al sheyuchel lovei lapikosis. The person is going to come to all these quarrels in his mind. How can it be? It can't be. So if it can't be, then there's no Hashem. When people come to Chas v'Shalom to say, there's no, because it can't be. I can't figure it out. So people come to apikosis. Right? Is that right? Gomer Rachman Litzlan. Kemoi kol apikursim shenaflu lapikursim shelahem. Each one of the heretics that fell to their midah of heresy that they fell to. Al yedei sichlam v'datam. It came through their own seichel, their own das. But we said emuna is not something that is connected to das. It's not something that connects to. It's not something that you can comprehend. But I need to understand. Right? And therefore we have to constantly strengthen ourselves with emuna. Again, understanding I don't understand. Right? Emuna is I don't understand, but I believe. If I understand it, it's not emuna. You understand the concept? If you understand it, that's not emuna. Emuna is something I don't understand, but I still believe in it. Because it's all dependent on emuna. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu constantly wants to do good for his creations. Hashem wants to do good. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world of Olam Chesed Yibana. He created the world with the premise of Chesed. He wants to do good. Al Keinu Mesibais Mahapech Betachbulaisav Umazmin L'chol Adam B'chol Yom Tamid Machshava Diba Ma'aseh B'Ofen Sheyiska Yidei Zel Is Chazik B'Emuna Yosef. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us every day, if we choose to. You have your mission every day if you choose to accept it, right? You have your mission. Do you choose to accept the mission that you have? Every day, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us another way. Like we're learning now in the days of Sefira. There are different ways each day is connected. Every day of the week, every day of the year is always connected to a Sefira. We know that Sunday is always the day of Chesed. Monday is the day of Gevura. Tuesday is the day of Tveres. Wednesday the day of Netzach. Thursday is the day of Hod. Friday is the day of Yesod. And Shabbos is the day of Malchus. Right? That's the way it is every time. Every day of the year. Every day of the year is connected to another Sefira. Right? Another Sefira. Right? I mean, in the world, right, Sunday is a more relaxed day most of the time, right, in most of the world, right? Sunday is a very relaxed day. Day of Chesed, right? Monday, they call it Manic Monday, right? Manic Monday, right? Crazy Monday, the Gvura Monday, right? And then Tuesday, it's the middle of the week, Tveres, it's the middle. And Wednesday is Netzach. They call that Hump Day. Wednesday they call Hump Day. Right? You remember that? Is that true? Is that true? What does that mean? It means I got over the hump. I'm already into the next day. We learn Wednesday's the next Shabbos, right? It works, everything works good, right? Wednesday's the next Shabbos. That's Hump Day. And then Hide, you say, thank you, Hashem. Wow, I made it to Thursday. The weekend's almost here, right? The weekend's over. Thank you, Hashem. We made it to Thursday. Then comes Shabbos, Erev Shabbos. We go to the mikveh. We prepare ourselves for Shabbos to prepare the day of Yesod, right? That's the way it works. And then Shabbos is the day of Malchus. We enjoy ourselves. We bask in the light of Hashem on Shabbos. That's the way it always is.
But
In
the desert, they only had one day. Monday.
Oh, Monday.
That's great. Amazing.
It was a mon life. Yeah. וזה בכינס חידש מעשה בראשית בכל יום, כי הקדוש ברוך הוא מחדש בטובו בכל יום תמיד מעשה בראשית. Because Hashem is always renewing everything. Voice in the flois b'chol eis, and He does wonders all the time. I mean, we see it here all the time, right? They send us these missiles and they get knocked down. We see wonder. We see Hashem lets us see wonders. Baruch Hashem, He lets us see the wonders. All the different changes and all the different things that happen. Right now we're in Chodesh Aviv, right? We see all the trees are flowering. You see the chischachos. We learned so many things about this, right? You see the newness. Hashem shows you signs that the world is always anew. B'chol shana ve'ein yom doimeh lechaverei, and no 2 days are the same. Every day is unique by itself. V'hakol b'shvil legalis emuna kedosha b'chol pam b'izgalis yosen. All Hashem is doing that to bring more emuna into the world. Recognize Hashem. Recognize the Yeshua comes from Hashem. The salvation is all from Hashem. Dahainu emunas chidush olam shehi yisoid hakol. Remembering that the world is always anew is the yisoid of everything. It's the aside of everything, the foundation of all of our emuna, to begin that I can always begin again, because the world is mamish new. Shebeshvil zeh Hashem yisbarach mechadim chidush maaseh bereishis b'chol yom kidei lahamshich b'chol yom emunas chidush olam b'izgalus yoysa b'zeh bechinas chadoshim labekorim rabba emunasecha. Chadoshim labakorim, right? New morning, Chadoshim labakorim, new mornings. Rabba, they all increase my emuna. Where are those words in Megillas Eicha? Amazing. Shamuna kedeshim mischadeshes umischazekes b'chol yoim kefi chidush maseh breishis sheba'isa yoim. And each day has some new flavor. There's a new sense in each day. Something's different in each day. Just tap into what's new in the day. Tap into it. Right? The weather's never the same. Everything's a little bit different. Every time something's different about every day. Tap into the specialness of each day. Aval ezer osa lekim. We know that the Kodesh Baruch Hu zeh luma zeh osa lekim. Hashem makes everything equal in the world. Right? The Kodesh Baruch Hu makes both sides equal. The side of good and the side of bad. There's always equal in the world. Hashem yisbarach mesavev sibos b'chol yoyim mechadesh maseh b'reish b'chol yoyim kidei legalis emuna dahainu emunas chidush. The same way Hashem makes everything new every day, so we can understand that we're new people every day, and the world is a new world every day. K'maykein es elum hazeh mizgaber asitra acham v'aklibas v'asitra v'lehalim emuna kedosha. So the other side gets strong, and he says, no, hide. The other side's hiding the Hashem. On the side of good, Hashem is showing you that the world is always new. But you have the other camp, which is just as equal, right? It's equal. Zelu masal selikim. He's powerful and saying, no, it's the same thing. It's the same. And Hashem's saying, no, it's new. No, it's the same thing. You understand? This is going on. So it's going on in our minds. It's going on in our minds. There's a fight going on back and forth in the mind. Lahachnis kefiris v'kushis chadoshes believe kidei lebalbal emuna kedosha. And all these questions that we have, they're only there to be mebalbal, to confuse our emuna, to confuse our medama. You understand? To confuse our imagination. So this happens to us on a daily basis. Ki b'chol yoyim yitzvei shalodem is gabrol, because every day the Yetzer Hara starts with us in a new way. We all know that, right? The main point of the Yetzer Hara is to get a person to become a heretic. That's the main thing that he's trying to do. Okay. And that's why, because every day we get these crazy things going on in our minds. So it's fighting back and forth. But if I go to the Tzaddik, and the Tzaddik has some clarity, I feel some clarity when I'm by the Tzaddik, I feel some kind of sense of clarity. It's not enough from the Svarim from before. Again, when you see the Tzaddik, you see the man is breathing, and you see the man and you see the holiness, and you see what a person can accomplish. When you meet the Tzaddik Hadar, it can set the person's head straight. Wow, it's actually, when you're talking about the Svarim, so that's all the imagination. But now you see something. Again, we said when you see something, it can help your imagination the greatest, because you need something physical. So now you see that, now we want to understand, why do I have to go to the Tzaddik? Because if you see the Tzaddik physically, so then it helps your imagination much greater. Because now you pin it on something. You have something to pin it on. You understand? Do you follow that or you don't follow that?
Yeah, of course.
When you see something, you can then imagine about what you saw. You need to see something physical to imagine something in imagination. So if you could see a great tzaddik, like there's many people went to the Baba Sali, that's all right, or great tzaddikim, right? People that we had in our lifetime, right? Rosh Shlomo Zalman Auerbach. They were great tzaddikim that we had in our time, right? These great tzaddikim that we had, they went to, they just walked away. They just, whoa. they just sensed something. You can't explain it. It's something to do with the imagination. But you just see the person, he can get fixed just because he saw the tzaddik. Right? There are many stories.
In the Gemara, right? Is it about who, Rabbi Meir? No?
Yeah.
He said, I saw Rabbi Meir on from the back. If I would see him from
The front, that would be fixed. Yeah, you see that. Yeah. Ki anu tzrichin l'tzadik ha'emes shebedam sheyesh by ruach hakodesh kidei levarer lanu hamedame kidei sheniska lemuna shleim b'chol yoim b'yoim kefi chidush masei bereshis b'chol yoim. Right? So now we're understanding now. We started the question. You have to travel to the tzaddik to get emuna because they'll fix your medama. But then we said, wait a second, but everyone got the Ruach HaKodesh, and we all got our medama fixed at Kabbalah Satira. And then wait a second, then if I learn the Sefer of the Tzaddik, so it also can help me. I'm with the Tzaddik. But so then why do I have to go to the tzaddik and see the tzaddik? Oh, why? Because every day the Yetzer Hara starts with me again. Every day the Yetzer Hara starts with me again. And it's as long as I'm just reading, my mind can wander in which different ways. But then when I see the tzaddik, you see the person, that's something different. Then you can learn the teaching. Wow, that's something special. Even sometimes today you can go to the tzia and the tzaddik. It's something here. The tzaddik is here. The tzaddik is in this place. So it's something you can relate to. It's something I see. And then I can use it, and I can use my imagination as a springboard for that, which I cannot necessarily do myself. And maybe I can't do that just when I'm reading the Sfarim. Maybe some people can. Maybe some people, their imagination is great. They can actually see the tzaddik in the same. That's wonderful if you can do that. But not everybody can do that. Right?
When I read the story about the Rebbe, or about Rabbi Natan,
Yeah.
I had that feeling of knowing him because I read his whole history. So that when I did go to, I even felt it more with Rabbi Natan than I did with Rabbi Nachman when I went to Uman.
Yeah.
I felt more closeness with Rabbi Natan.
Because you're studying more of his teachings. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, but it's again going to the. It's not the same. And again, no one's not telling you you're not supposed to study the teachings. You're supposed to study the Sfarim, of course. But it's so much more important to actually see something, because when I see that, the same way we're learning, see the Gevura of Hashem. Look at something. Then you can use that as a springboard again for the imagination. It's fascinating. The psychology here is unbelievable. Real, true psychology. What?
I've seen in the Kitzur, the Maran Rabbi Nachman says there that hearing the Chiddush from a tzaddik at the shir is uncomparable to reading it later, learning it, because when you see the face, when you see him, when he says the
you learn from the tzaddik itself. Is wow.
You don't forget it.
You don't forget exactly.
When you learn it from
the Sefer, you may forget it.
Forget.
Yeah, that's true. That's right. Rabbi Nassim writes that many times. He writes that many times. That even if a person came to Rabbi Nachman and even heard him say one word, they do tshuva shalema. They just heard him say one word. Okay. Ki b'chol yoyim v'yoyim anu tzrichin levara chodosh levorer hamedame kefi hamachshavos hanimshachim b'zeh hayoyim. Because every day we get different kind of thoughts. So you think the same thing every day. No. Every day you have different kind of thoughts. You have a different thought process, a different thought pattern. Every day it changes. It may be parallel to what you do, but it's different. Okay? Because every day the world is new. So I'm different every day. I'm not the same person as I was yesterday, and I'm not the same person as I'll be tomorrow or the next day.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I think I am aware of about Hashem.
We have just the time.
Yeah, he used gevura.
Yeah.
He restrained himself when he took himself out of the space so he could create the universe.
Mm-hmm.
How else did he use gevura in a way that we can relate to today?
Thunder.
How is that gevura? Thunder.
Well, what is it? Isn't it power?
No.
You feel your house shake?
Yeah.
That's not gvura?
I don't know.
I'm asking you. Don't you feel? What do you feel when you hear that thunder and it wakes you? You're sitting there and you just go boom. You hear that? What do you feel?
Wakes me up.
It wakes you up, right? So what do you think? Whoa, Hashem, that was that was a good wake up, right?
Yeah, but I thought, how is thunder restraining from Hashem?
It's not a restraining. It's an awakening. You see the power of Hashem. Power of Hashem. Gvura has many meanings.
Oh, okay.
So let's use it we'll understand the power of Hashem.
The
Okay.
bracha on the thunder also.
When you make the bracha, you say that the koyach, ugvurosai, it's so talking about gvura in the bracha, his power, Malay fills the world.
I guess because
no other function do we know.
That's right. To straighten, we said that. To straighten out the crookedness in the heart.
Right.
All of that stuff.
most of the examples I've heard of is like Yitzhak.
Okay, let's just finish the. Fine. Shakol, Mishvil Chizik Emuna. All of this is because of Chizik of Emuna. To be mechazik our Emuna. But the other side, he's starting up with us every single day. We got this, right? But every morning he's going to come up again. He comes up with a new plan. I'm going to get you today.
So did Pinchas use Gevura?
Huh?
Pinchas, when he...
Yeah, that was an act of Gevura. Yeah. That was an act of Gevura, yeah. Yeah, because he said no. So the other side, he comes up with a new plan every day, right? It's like our enemies, right? These enemies that we have every day. You bop them again, and they come up again with a new plan. That's the son. That's the Baldover. That's he comes up every day. You bopped him yesterday. He comes up again. Here he is again. A new idea. I'll get you again now today. It's amazing. Really, if you understand what it's all about, and you see what's going on in the world, it makes perfect sense. It's the same thing. It's the Sitra Acha, the Baldav, it's all the same thing. Like I told you, he wears many different hats. Okay, Bebilbul Chadoshim, Lebalbal, Emuna, Chatzron, all it's there to be Mebalbal our Emuna. Right? The same way our enemies do what they do, they want to be Mebalbal our Emuna. Right? Al kein tzrichin sadik hador daika ve'ein dai b'ma shekvar kibalnu at-Torah v'zachinu lebeira amedame le'emuna shleima oz. When I got that time, what was within the lessons? No, I need something new today. I need new ammunition. I need new fortification each day. Because every day we have to strengthen our emuna. If you're not strengthening your emuna, you're weakening your emuna. A Jew can't stand still. A Jew has to be moving, right? That's why when a person leaves the world, when we remember a person, we light a candle. Why do we light a candle? A candle's always jumping up and down. A candle never stays still, right? And the neshama is always jumping. It's always moving. And the neshama is always moving. Can't be still. Can't be neutral. And the neshama is not neutral. So if you're not working on strengthening your emuna every day, that means you're going down. You leave. That was a door closed. The to find the Masa Breslov Levara emuna me'aklipa v'asitracha miskaberes kenegda mechodesh b'chol yom, and therefore we understand now why we have to travel to the tzaddik, actually see the tzaddik, in order to startle ourselves in a good way, to use that as a springboard for our emuna, to be able to use that on a daily basis. So traveling to the tzaddikim is very, very important, even though you could do it yourself. But when you do it yourself, you have the other side always bothering you, and you may knock you down. So that way you need the little fortification, traveling to the tzaddik, seeing the tzaddik, spending time with it. That gives your person extra fortification. Do we understand this now? Baruch Hashem. Okay, let's learn one quick halacha, and we'll learn. We're going to be doing Lamed Gimel in Mirza Hashem on Sunday. Okay. Okay, here we go. One halacha in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. We are in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. We are in Siman Lamed Vav. Those following along inside, 36. Siman 36, 36, and we are today up to Yud Dalet. Here we go. Okay. Wow, here we go. We're up to 14. Okay, Yud Dalet. Everyone follow. Okay. Basa shaloi nimlach adayin. So if you have salt, meat that you soaked, right, and you dry, you pat it, but you didn't salt it yet. Lo yanicha oise b'makom shelepamim yesh sham melach. Don't put it in a place where you sometimes have salt. We have so she v'yesh la'achar liyached kli levasar lichut. You should have your own special vessel that you use, a special pot, a special herb, whatever that you use to salt the meat in. Don't use that for anything else. Only use that for the meat. Why is that? Shaloi laniach b'chli zeh yerokos ha'peiros v'kiyotzei behem, because you may come and put in that same bowl, if you don't have a specific bowl for the salting, and you use this pot, then you take the meat out, and now you'll use the bowl for, you'll put for your tomatoes in there. You'll put your peppers in there, or you put your apples and pears in there. I don't know, right? Something that you'll eat, let's say, without washing. Right? Let's say you wash the apples and then you put them in the thing. You're not going to wash them again, right? Kidam min abosar nidbak bikli, because the blood that was in the meat sticks to the walls, into the mamar, goes into the mamarches of the walls of the kli, and it won't be released. Umin hakli nidbak bahem, and from the kli the dam will be connected to the fruit. Then if you eat it, even though you're not actually eating blood itself, but you're eating from the mamashes of it, so that's considered blood. We want to stay away from it. Therefore, you have yourself a separate kli. Okay? We sure have a wonderful Shabbos. Thank you for joining and coming, and kol tov everybody.